Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News and plenty to dive into today. Some very important matches in the VCT last night with some significant implications, but also TenZ moving in with dapr for the playoffs for Sentinels in just a week or so's time. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. Really upset the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all, this from the FPX front. We discussed yesterday that Angel might have his payment rescinded because, well, for the current circumstances, he can't play due to just fleeing Ukraine, all the crazy stuff happening out there. This situation has now been resolved. Definitely when this type of stuff becomes public and the pressure gets put on the organization, they decided to backtrack, and the CEO has apologized to the person in question, and everything seemingly is getting sorted out. So good news on that front, most certainly. Just shame, I guess it takes some of this pressure to actually get this stuff to happen. This also thought was quite interesting, right? It seems like Vedia's an LCS caster, League of Legends caster, getting brought in to work on this week's VCT. So interesting how kind of Riot are playing at this. But still, plenty to talk about Riot on the kind of Reykjavik front for the Masters events coming up relatively soon. As Valorant esports say, Masters returns to Reykjavik. Pretty exciting stuff, not too far around the corner at this point. But well, rumors have it at the present time, there's going to be no crowd at this event. We discussed this yesterday that Korea has managed to make it work. For some reason, Riot are just, apparently this has been confirmed by a Riot representative to George Geddes that they don't want to have a crowd here. Now, I guess this is due to whatever perceived risk they see. Like, I'm pretty sure there was also discussion that there's going to be no in-house press at the event either. So if you're media, you can't even attend in person and have a press room or anything. Like, it's just really frustrating because so many other esports and sports have managed to make this work for a long time at this point. And it's not just because it's Reykjavik and in Iceland or whatever. Like, there's other spots in Europe where, the CSGO Major last year managed to make it work in Stockholm without issue. Like, there's been plenty of esports events that have happened. For some reason, Riot don't seem to want to take the risk on this. Like, I guess they don't want a last chance qualifier situation v2, but still, surely at this point, you've got to have confidence you can make an event work with a crowd, because honestly, I just think it lowers the standard of the event. Like, it just makes it feel way more boring from a viewing perspective at home, and I don't know, it just takes away from some of the luster of the event, like lifting the trophy, like not in front of a crowd. Just that feels very different indeed, I think. So yeah, kind of frustrating to be honest. Maybe this will change over time, but I kind of doubt it with the way Riot has gone as of late. This also, just to mention real quick from FaZe, Trippy is one of their assistant coaches for the roster. He's actually leaving the team, interestingly enough, not because they just had to kick him or go in a different direction, but because he actually wants to compete as a player. This is something there isn't really there isn't a crazy precedent of players doing this to success in the past, but thought it was quite interesting, right? He does the tweet longer he comes out with and says, look, I thought long and hard about my path. I've ultimately decided on exploring my options as a professional player. So really cool to see. Like, I wish the best for him. He's obviously got confidence he can do it, so hopefully it works out for him and all that type of good stuff. This also from Nerd Street, just real quick, Valorant is back for the Champ Circuit. They've got plenty of tourneys coming up at 50,000 grand finals, so well, also some in-game tournaments as well, in-person tournaments, some LAN tourneys, all this type of good stuff. Some of the teams in the VCT or outside of the VCT that have had a tough time, they're going to have to play in some of these, I'm sure, to improve if they want to get through to the VCT for next time around. Let's just discuss this real quick before we can get into the matches from yesterday, because there's been plenty of talk from the Sentinels front. What is TenZ going to do? Is he going to stay out there in California, right, for these upcoming online matches? Because, look, the playoffs is very important. You need to do very well at the playoffs if you want to qualify into Masters, even though there's no crowd. You still want to go. You still want to get to Masters. You still want to get to Champions, all this type of stuff. Now, well, there has been some talk about, TenZ's internet situation. The ping is not great generally to a lot of the servers that the teams are playing on from out in California. Therefore, for big tournaments, often some of the players from California will move to Texas, this type of stuff. A clip came out last night from Zelz's stream with dapr saying that TenZ, that being Tyson, is going to move in with him for the upcoming tournament, I imagine, in Texas.
Pretty dope.
Did you finally get some room so you don't sound like you're in a cave?
No, Tyson's moving in here.
What? Actually?
Yeah, for playoffs after our match, he's coming here.
Oh. After our match? Can you just move him?
So he's gonna have like 80 ping or something?
Yeah.
Match found.
But after he's gonna move for all.
So it seems like a sensible decision for me, to be honest, from TenZ to get out there to Texas. I believe that's where dapr is based at the present time. A lot of esports players are, to be honest, right now. And well, hopefully that's going to make things a little bit better for Sentinels, because that's always been a discussion. Like, the ping is not ideal, especially in a tournament that means so much. Like, really, this should be on LAN, I would argue. But whatever, it's going to be done online in North America. The players need to be in the best possible vicinity they can be. TenZ is going to be out in Texas. Maybe that will give Sentinels the advantage they need in some of the series. But they qualified pretty impressively a couple couple of days ago. This also from the Guard. Yesterday they play up against Cloud9. Firstly, just to mention real quick some EMEA games that went on. Supermassive Blaze fell to Fnatic 2-0. G2 beat BBL 2-0. So Fnatic now 3-0 over in that Group B. I'll give you guys an update on this one. But so yeah, a lot of these matches getting delayed. Like Gambit in a tough spot as well we looked at yesterday. But let's dive into the North American games then, because these were kind of the more interesting ones in rounding out how these groups are going to go. Cloud9 versus the Guard. The battle arguably to say who's the best team in North America. And the first map actually is the Guard that take it pretty comfortably. Astrometa dead. Vanity sucks now. Lol. Thank you for the money, C9. Says Zelsa's of course over at the version 1 side. Also trying to argue they might be the #1 team in North America. But what, they bounced back kind of quickly. I was very impressed honestly at the way Cloud9 kind of approached this series. Like, I mean, their star players are insane. Leaf is just absolutely ridiculous to be honest. Like, I mean, this is a pretty crazy round as well. Straight up just right click with the classic and the job is done without too much issue. But yeah, Cloud9 honestly just demolished the Guard the final 2 maps of this series, which was kind of surprising to me, like especially when Guard went up 1-0. I was like, okay, wow, can they actually do something here? But like, Cloud9 really just showed, yes, they are the #1 team in North America. They are one of the teams to beat in the entire world. Like, especially on this new meta, right? I think they just looked phenomenal. And I mean, yeah, Leaf especially as a player. We'll look at the stats here in a second. Is absolutely ridiculous. Like, as Trent says from the Guard, 1-2, GG's Cloud9, definitely the best in North America right now. We just shall come back stronger, Leaf. You are the best player in the entire world. This is a pretty ridiculous highlight actually on the ascent. I mean, look at this from Leaf. He's used one bullet across, just fires one bullet through the wall and Valor just goes down. Yeah, whatever the kid he says. I mean, it's a ridiculous shot. When you die to something like this, you're like, okay, oh my god, like, you know, just lose full and go again for the next round, I suppose. And as Vanity says, 2-1 the Guard, you know, screw Bind. Because, yeah, frustrations on Bind after game 1. They want Bind to be gone for the map sets. He continues with this. I'm sorry for ever disrespecting Ascent. Bind is literal garbage. So what do you guys think about this, right? Because I'm not the biggest fan of Bind at all, to be honest, as a map. Like, yeah, I don't think it plays particularly well. Of course, Fracture came into the map set not too long ago and is generally rather well liked by the pros. Like, it's kind of got some quirks. So every Valorant map has its own quirks, right? But yeah, the teleports on Bind, like, I don't know. I just don't think it plays really well at all. The rotations feel super clunky. The bomb sites, the way like some of the rooms are, just, I don't know. I don't really like it. So anyway, I think on the professional level as well, it doesn't really play the best, and the pros generally know that. So it came into this series, like Cloud9 lose it. They're kind of talking about it. And well, obviously, I guess the Guards might have a different opinion on that matter. But Bind was map 1, right? 13-7 it goes in the end in favor of the Guards. And it looked like, okay, wow, this series is going to be another dominant one for the likes of the Guard as they've been doing lately. But Ascent 13-4, Vanity and Mitch combining for +19 in this game. And then it was the Haven where Leaf just completely took over. +23, 500 plus ACS, 30-7, like I'm out of control. And then Dephh actually had 100% cast, which is pretty impressive as well. 13-2 on this final map. So yeah, I mean, Leaf was out of control. That's the thing, like some of the meta here didn't change all that much, I suppose. We certainly saw some changes, some more brimstones coming into effect with the new meta in play yesterday. But yeah, Astra generally gone. On some maps she was still in, and we can see all the variants here. Like Astra did come in at times. There was Omen being used, right? There was KO. I really love the variety we saw across these 3 maps. But on this final map, of course, Jet is still going to be used. And yeah, Leaf out of control, honestly. That means Cloud9 5-0 in their group. We'll have a look at him in a second. Then the final series, also very important. Rise Nation had to win this one against NRG to have a chance to qualify out of the bracket. That does not happen. Actually, Yoru was coming up for SOM in this. I believe it was the map 2. We'll have a look here in a second. But again, NRG was 0-4. They managed to avoid going 0-5, taking down Rise in honestly a very impressive performance. Like, I've always been very impressed by this NRG team. I was kind of surprised personally they were 0-4. I feel like they deserved at least one victory at some point. Like, I think honestly a very good team. They've definitely got a lot of potential. Hayes said he was kind of, well, considering his options after their defeat last week. But again, here against Rise, I mean, what a clutch this was for me as well. Like, yeah, 1 versus 3, 10 HP, no problem at all. Gets the first kill, gets the second kill. Oh my god, it was absolutely beautiful. That helps them go on to win the series. FNS says from the OpTic side, honestly, can't believe we made playoffs. All us, by the way, did not need anyone else because OpTic had to. Well, I hope, I guess, that LRG won this one, and then Rise would, well, then OpTic would have to win their series against Knights on Sunday to qualify. That's not how it works out, though. Green will qualify officially, and as Ye says, we go playoffs, yay. Thanks to NRG for one last ride. These are then the final series stats. NRG 2-0 over Rise. Surprising result, but honestly very impressive from NRG. EU with 43-20 over the course of it. He was definitely the dominant force over Fracture. And then Haven as well, of course, we saw that 1 versus 3 clutch, which pretty much put the game well. Like, when you lose a clutch like that in the pist around here, you just know it's pretty much short to you at that point, especially after getting an 8-4 half on the previous time. That then leaves the group sitting as follows. So, still some very important matches to come in terms of seeding right here and who they'll play on the other side of things. But OpTic and Knights, those are going to be the 2 teams that qualify here, alongside version 1 and Sentinels over in Group B. Cloud9 lock up the #1 spot 5-0. 100 Thieves and Evil Geniuses still to battle it out because one of these teams will go 0-5. Who shall it be? That, of course, will be determined later on today as 100 Thieves play EG today, as do Except versus Luminosity over in that Group A. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button. Tell us on YouTube, God, this is a good video, and it's like you should see it as well. And help grow the competitive Valorant community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care. I don't want to see you next time.
Well, there it goes. The dash Messiah player, but he goes down straight away. So they can't take the space really all that easily. And they're going to get the way to sidewalk here. So they're trying to force the issue. They've taken heavy losses. Can Cloud9 keep punishing them as they move forward? Still 5 players strong now as the push finally comes through. But great position here from Mitch. The bait, the right click is doing work. The quad kill. Fantastic from Cloud9.
Wow, what a classic round from Mitch right there.
Here in mid, and Rise are starting to win the fights as the Frenzy forced to reload. It's all up to EU. He's got a shock dart. We'll send it on out. Inside the dart cover, 2 members will go, but the recon bolt gonna reveal it. He's just gotta buy some extra time. Fortunately for Rise, Supa is on the spike.
No
for
way!
how much longer? EU huge with the Red Bull clutch.
That's absolutely massive out of EU.